What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen. This is Colts Law. Man, I love doing live streams, and I'm glad you guys found time to come in and hang out with me, even though there's an NFL game going on right now that I don't know about you, but I'm pretty damn excited to see after we whooped on the Steelers this past Sunday. They come back, and it must have lit a fire under their butt, right? Lit a fire under their butt because they are absolutely tearing that ass of the Cincinnati Bengals right now. Oh my goodness. They are beating them 24-0 at halftime, and that plays right in to this conversation of the Colts Falcons game. All right? Because the Steelers look dead in the water. The Bengals were on a high roll, even with a backup quarterback. And they thought, you know what? We could go in and take care of business against the Steelers. Looked like they probably overlooked them. But after getting whooped and with an eye-opening game with the playoffs on the line, they come out and they played tough. You go and look at the Falcons game, right? And you see the Falcons just lost to the Panthers, okay? And you're like, oh, this is an easy game. This is an easy game. Much to the chagrin, the Falcons still in the playoff hunt, still in their division title hunt. The Colts can't take this team lightly. They have so much fight and grit in them. They can't walk into this game thinking it's an easy game. It is definitely a trap game. They got to stay focused. They got to look at this game as though, you know what? We got to win this, all right? You put on their best game of the year, right? And be like, hey, this is the team we're facing, right? You put their best game of the year on the film and show that. That's what I see. All right. Show that, hey, they beat the Bucks, they beat the Saints, right? They beat the Texans. This isn't a terrible team. They beat the Packers. They can do this. Now, yes, did they lose to the Panthers? Yes. I get that. All right. Did they lose to the Jets? No. They beat the Jets at least. They did lose to the Titans, but let's face it, the Titans can be a tough team from week to week. This is not a team to be trifled with. Absolutely not. I want to quickly shout out Josh Parker, Chaz, Kurt, Basil. Y'all, thank you so much for being in here. Shout out to you guys. Please don't forget to smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed. Tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time we go live or upload a video. Ooh, man. But here's the thing, okay? You cannot take the Falcons lightly. And after losing to the Panthers, they look like they're kind of on a slide. And they could be. I mean, Arthur Smith, the head coach, his job's on the line. I get it. I understand. He went with Taylor Heineke. And quite frankly, I like Taylor Heineke. I think Heineke and Minshew have very similar qualities as a quarterback. Okay? Very similar qualities. The only difference, I think Heineke has a stronger arm. All right. I really do. I think Heineke has a stronger arm than Minshew, but I think they're both, in the very similar vicinity of accuracy, mobility, things of that nature. Minshew might read a defense a little bit better, all right, than Heineke does. But look, they got a team, right? They got two really damn good tight ends. All right. And tight ends historically have been an Achilles heel of this Colts defense, right? Because it's that middle of the field stuff. And they got two pretty damn good ones in Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith, who now that Jonnu is back with Arthur Smith, he's out there lighting it up, right? Lighting it up. He's their best receiver. He's the only guy with more than 13 catches that has over 75% completion, right? And that's over their wide receivers, right? And they got a running back Bijan ain't no joke. Bijan ain't no joke. We're going to have to lock down. It was great to see the Indianapolis Colts run defense do a very good job against the Steelers. That's awesome. They got to keep that rolling, right? With Grover Stewart back, that whole defensive front has got to stay up and focus along with the linebackers. Cornerbacks and safeties, they play a role in that, as well. So they got to stay really focused and beat this team. Have to stay focused. What's up, Delta? What up, Mason? What up, Daniel? Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys being in here. I think that I don't believe this is a trap game. They're better than they are on paper. Absolutely. Now, the good thing is the Indianapolis Colts, they're going to have one starter out in this game. One. Right? I get Michael Pittman Jr. is questionable with a shoulder. He's playing. He cleared concussion protocol. He's playing. Jonathan Taylor, he's going to be out there, right? That's awesome to hear and see as well, right? Because he practiced all week. He's not even got an injury designation right now. He is full clear to play, which is freaking awesome. I just said, we only have one starter out, and that's Braden Smith. We only have one starter, and that's Braden Smith. And you know who's filling in for him? I don't know if he's going to be in, but that's Jared Valdir, brought up from the practice squad after being signed not long ago. Is he going in to play right tackle over the rookie? That's an interesting question. So that's a situation that we got. All good, Basil. All good. So we'll see what happens. I think Jared is probably a better pass defender than he is a run blocker. But here's the thing. Atlanta ain't got very good pass rush. They're one of the worst pass rushing teams in football. All right. And maybe their best pass rusher is out of this game. So this is an opportunity for Minshew to utilize his tight ends. Like, seriously utilize his tight ends. Keep two tight end sets, run the ball, pass the ball. Don't have to have help on the edges at this game. I think this could be an absolute dogfight. All right. In the trenches. It could actually, and when I say dogfight, I mean we got dogs, they got cats. We should absolutely blow this team out the water across the board in the trenches on both sides. Should. But you got to go out there with the mentality of doing it. Don't go out there thinking, oh, this is going to be easy. As a player, they have to go out there and prepare for a dogfight, put out their best effort, right? And then let the final score dictate whether this was a true dogfight or not, all right? That's how I see it. As an analyst, I'm looking at this and I'm going, how on God's green earth is Atlanta favored in this game? There's no absolutely way. I get Michael Pittman Jr., Jonathan Taylor, questionable. Pittman just suffered the concussion. Taylor, looking like he may not play. So, and then Atlanta being at home, and that's 3 points right there. So that gives them 2.5 points. They're 2.5 point favorites. What? Now? It actually went further into Atlanta's side after Pittman and Jonathan Taylor was cleared? What? That makes no sense to me. None. How is that? Oh. Oh, no, absolutely not. There's no question Jonathan Taylor starting this game. There's zero question. Look, during practice this week, both Thursday and Friday, he went out there and played hard. And they said there was nothing limiting him. Josh Downs has been a little quiet. He's been getting a catch here and there, but what I like to see is, from what I've been seeing, Minshew's been spreading the ball around more, not having to rely on him nearly as much. I know, but rightfully so. Rightfully, you're just like, what the holy crap, dude. I understand it's about casino profit, but why are you trying to lose money? Everybody knows everybody's going to bet on the Colts. Everybody's betting on the Colts. Why wouldn't you make the spread a little bit tougher, right? To kind of mitigate losses. That's what I'm saying. What's going on, Colts for Super Bowl? Drop of $2 in the super chat. Appreciate you. Says thoughts on the Steelers, 24, up 24 on the Bing. I opened it up with that, dude. I was like, trap game. It was a trap game for the Bengals. Steelers looked like they were dead in the water after the Indianapolis Colts just obliterated them on Sunday. Bengals thought, oh, this is an easy walk in the park. But what that happened game, that Steelers game, what it did was lit a fire under Mike Tomlin's butt, which then again, he lit a damn, bonfire under his team's ass. And now they come out here and they're playing hard-nosed football. And they are just bullying the way you expect the Steelers to bully a team, right? That's exactly the way I feel about it. And that's one of the reasons why, looking at this Atlanta game kind of has very similar vibes to it to me, at least in my thought, the way I'm looking at it. 16 of you in here. Wait, hold on. Trust me, you're wrong on this one. They have a spread and money line right for them to make money regardless of who wins. I don't know, because you win more money by putting money on the team that should actually win, right? You would lose more people expect the Colts to win. And when you're getting a slide towards the team that most people expect to win, you're losing more money. So it makes zero sense to me. I get, these guys that set up lines in Vegas, they are brilliant number crunchers. I understand that. I just don't know how this is working out in the benefit for them. I'm sure it does somehow, some way, like you're saying. I just don't know that. Beyond my comprehension. And I'll admit that. I admit that. It ain't because Rudolph is playing before Christmas. No, it is not. Look, Rudolph looked bad in the few snaps he had against the Colts, right? I mean, it's not like Rudolph went out there, had 3 passes and got one of them was an interception and a sack. I mean, Mason was not doing any better than Mitch Trubisky. He might have, play for play might have been worse than Mitch Trubisky in that Colts game. And they were down. So you expected. I fully feel that way. The Steelers will blow another one in the second half. I don't see 24 points in the second half getting blown. All right. I don't. I think Mike Tom, this is a team that has no quit in them. Think about at the very end, a minute and a half left in the game against the Colts. The whole thing about me being pissed at Mike Tomlin. All right. We just got that turnover with a minute 30 left in the game. Colts go out there, victory formation, thinking, all right, we're gonna kneel this, victory formation, kneel this, put this game to bed. That way we don't have to score anymore. It was 27-13. They kneel it, and then Mike Tomlin calls a timeout, expecting his defense to go out there and get the ball back for him. Now, at that point, I was pissed. I was, oh, hell no. You did not just do that. You did not just do that. Go score a damn touchdown right now on them. We're trying to be nice. Your defense can't stop our offense for nothing. We just ran the ball 20 straight times on your ass, and you couldn't stop a thing, And now we're trying to walk out of here. But he has no quit in him. Even down 2 scores with a minute and a half left, he has no quit in him. And that's the way, he's going to try to put it with his team. So I don't see him giving up 24 points in the second half. What's up, Colts for Super Bowl? Another $2 drop. Appreciate you so much. Santa sprinkled some magic on Rudolph today. It's quite possible. Hey, guys, I know that tomorrow is Christmas Eve. All right. I want to say Merry Christmas to all of you. If you're not here tomorrow during my live game reaction to the Falcons, I hope that I see you there tomorrow as well. But if not, absolutely Merry Christmas. Hope you have a happy New Year. If you're not, Christian, then happy Hanukkah or whatever it is that you follow. Okay. Just happy holidays in general, but absolutely America. I'm Christian, or at least I have a Christian foundation. So Merry Christmas. Okay. But that was Colts Vikings. And the Colts were known for giving up massive leads. I mean, look what happened. Cowboys. Look what they did to the Cowboys, right? I mean, the Cowboys game was stupid too, right? 31 points in the fourth quarter. But that was a different team, different players, different coaches. You got to look at it as, can it happen? Can they give up 24 points in the second half, the Steelers? Yes. Do I expect it? Oh, hell no. I don't, even with Mason Rudolph at quarterback. I don't. Anyhow. Colts fan. If the Colts handle business the last 3 games, how far the Colts can go in the playoffs? How far do I think the Colts can make it in the playoffs? I don't think that there's a team in the AFC the Colts cannot beat. Okay. I think the Colts, because of their defense, can beat any team. I'm not afraid of the Ravens. Not afraid of the Browns. Not afraid of the Chiefs. Not afraid of the Bills. All right. Miami scares me a little. I think we can beat them. They scare me a little because their play style, it's all about Tua getting the ball out of his hands quick, 2.2 seconds. So getting sacks on him is not going to be a thing that's going to happen a lot. And it's all about yak yardage, right? With Waddle and Hill and them. And, getting the ball in the quick little spots in tight zones and letting them do yak. It's not good scheme for scheme. It works well against us. And then, of course, speed against our secondary works against us as well. It worries me a little. But I feel like our offense can move the ball on their defense as well, right? That's the game where I feel like of all the games, I think that could be the highest scoring game matchup if we had to play Miami. But but the other teams, I feel like we match up well against the Bills and the Chiefs and the Ravens, because it is what it is. It's just how I look at it. We've always played the Ravens tough. We're not. We don't have a great record against them. We did beat them this year, but we always play them tough. We always play the Chiefs tough, and we're on the flip end of that record as of late, right? The Bills, getting kind of back and forth with them, always play them tough. And then, of course, as we saw with the Browns. So, is what it is. I appreciate you guys in here. Thank you so much. Hey, Cypher, what's going on, my guys? So, what are these short-term playoff ramifications if the Steelers win and we go up to the 6th seed, given that we win tomorrow? Yeah, because they would lose. All right. We would go to the 6th seed. That's great. All fine and dandy. Doesn't matter to me, though. All right. 5th, 6th, 7th. Doesn't matter. In my humble opinion, because it could be Miami or look, we could be facing what if we win out and Jacksonville does not win out? Right? We win the division. We're not facing Miami right off the bat. We're not facing the Ravens right off the bat. Right? We'll be facing a wild card team. And there's not a Bengals scare me a little because of their, like, again, they got really good receivers. But I think we can beat them. I think that was a mess up on our end 2 weeks ago when we went out there because we just played sloppy football and left a lot on the field. Okay? I think we can beat the Bengals as well. And we definitely can beat the Steelers. This is just a situation where win out, go in, win every game, one-on-one, do your best, and then see what happens. I did not expect the Indianapolis Colts to be truly in the playoff contention with already in the playoff seeding at this point of the year, at the beginning of the year, okay? I even thought 6 to 9 wins. That's where I figured. And I was on one of the high-end guys, right? Everybody was telling me, oh, there's no way they're going to get 6 to 9 wins. Maybe 6, but not 9. Win tomorrow, they already got 9 wins, right? So they are exceeding my expectations a little bit. And if they just go out there and play their butts off, right? I'm proud of this team, no matter what. Because Anthony Richardson or Gardner Minshew at quarterback, no one expected them to even make the playoffs this year. Maybe 2 of you said yes. 1 of you, I think, said, oh, they're going 17-0, But come on, right? Come on. They're absolutely exceeding expectations. Boy, did I just about burn my tongue right there. Shane Steichen has been absolutely stellar this year in game management, play calling, all of that. Shane, I just so feel like he should be coach of the year. I really, really do. A home playoff game would be not. It absolutely would. It absolutely would. I wouldn't think they'd want a rematch either because it feels like that Cincy game was a wake-up call for the Colts, right? You cannot play sloppy. You can't play sloppy and expect to win games, right? It was kind of that. That might have been the Colts trap game, that woke Indy up to get them to play tough. But this Falcons game, after the Pittsburgh big win, you don't want to fall in that same damn trap, right? It was like there's little freaking like holes in the ground everywhere, traps that you could fall in. And I don't do that. Don't do that. Jacksonville has cleared their quarterback to play tomorrow. Awesome. Awesome. That's fine. They still got to win the games. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Jacksonville is guaranteed to lose or anything like that. Holy crap, 31-8, third quarter. No, this team's winning. I got Steelers got this all day. But yeah. And that's how things work, King. That's how things work in the NFL. And it's just like this, all right? Jaguars shame the Colts in the division. Colts shame, the Titans. Possibly shame the Texans. It's just how it works, So what's weird is, and this is a rare feat to happen, where a team sweeps another team in their division, but that team that got swept ends up winning the division. And that legitimately can happen right now with the Colts and Jaguars. The Jaguars need to play at the top of their game. They got to win out because they know the Colts are fighting. They know the Texans are fighting, right? So absolutely. Oh, I don't think it's a given yet. I don't think it's a given because, look, like I said, there's 3 coaches, in my opinion, that absolutely have every right to be in that conversation. Shane Steichen being one of them. The Texans head coach, obviously, with what he's done over there. I think he's behind Steichen because he's had his quarterback for the majority of the season. And then Stefanski. All right. I think Stefanski has a little, because Look, he's leaned on that defense, has went through 4 different starting quarterbacks this year, and is still in the playoff hunt, right? And leading the wild card teams. So you got to give it to Kevin Stefanski as well. I think those are the 3 coaches that are absolutely in this conversation 100%. See, what up, Swaggy? Look, I would say the Bengals game was a bit of a trap game, 2 weeks ago for the Colts. Walking in thinking, well, the Bengals just lost. They have a backup quarterback, and all that. Didn't realize that young man could actually play football. And we played sloppy, bad game and lost. In a game I feel like we should have won. If we'd have played our good game and hadn't run into our own punter and offsides and holding calls and all these things that just matriculate down and shot ourselves in the foot so many times, I think we had a chance to win that game. But we just played a really sloppy game. So our defense looking against Atlanta's receivers, it's not the receivers, in my opinion. They have they got a good receiving, one good receiver. But it's their tight ends that worry me more than anything, right? They got Van Jefferson, who hasn't been what we expected. I thought Van Jefferson was going to be better than what he was when he came over here. But Drake London's been pretty decent, right? Second-year player. But, I mean, my goodness. Jonnu Smith has been a stud. Kyle Pitts is still Kyle Pitts. He's not been lighting it up like everybody was hoping he would, but he's still, a decent receiver and can be that guy. Jonnu Smith has been a stud, and then Bijan is a stud. So, look, if we can get after Taylor Heineke, force him into the bad situations, utilize our sack by committee, quarterback hit by committee that we have across our D-line, and put pressure, make him throw some passes, before he's ready to, or make him throw some inaccurate passes. We'll get some more turnovers. We can win this game. We've got to go that route. But you can't let Bijan Robinson freaking dictate how this game goes for the Falcons. No way. Well, that's news. Hold on. When was this? Oh, well, that's weird. He's been downgraded to out. And I see it right here. Indianapolis Colts just posted it 18 minutes ago. Michael Pittman Jr. has been downgraded. He was questionable, had the shoulder injury all week, right? Maybe his concussion symptoms came back after he was cleared. I don't think it affects us at all, but that's huge. That's huge. I fully expected Pittman to be back. Maybe the concussion symptoms resurfaced after he was cleared. I didn't think that the shoulder issue was as big a deal as what it is, right? Because he's had that all week and was still full practicing. And then limited practice with the shoulder, but still. I don't think it affects us that much. We have receivers. Look, I think we should run 2 tight end sets anyhow, majority of this game against this offense, right? Run the hell out of the ball against this team. Have Alec and Downs out there most of the time. I think it doesn't hurt us at nearly that bad, okay? The good thing is we're late in the season and we're starting to see Minshew gain some trust with other guys to throw to besides Michael Pittman Jr. And I think that is why I like our depth across the board. I love I think our offense is one of the better ones in the league. If we just had no knock on Minshew. I think Minshew has been playing pretty darn good football. But we are limited. to how explosive we could be with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. Okay. I got to say it as it is. It is. But for what his abilities are, he has been playing very good football as of late. But I like our talent that we have around him, even with Michael Pittman Jr. out. Yeah, I feel that as well. Yeah, absolutely. So, where are you guys at with this game? Won't we look? Normally during my live stream during game days, I drop game predictions. I am shocked that Michael Pittman Jr. is not making it. I really am. That's out of nowhere. I appreciate you, Daniel, for letting Daniel, for letting me know about that. That's huge. Chappell said that concussion symptoms return. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured it probably was. You know, I'm pretty sure I was saying that to you guys just a few minutes ago, that they probably resurfaced. But, it's always safer to play it safe than put the guy out there, right? So, absolutely, don't let him play if he's got concussion symptoms. You want him 100%. I thought he returned from that hit from concussion awfully damn fast, right? I mean, I thought he returned awfully fast. I knew he was a tough SOB. I knew Pittman is a tough son of a mother, right? But to come back from that hit that quick on that kind of a concussion hit, that was shocking. It was shocking. And so, I'm not overly surprised that the concussion symptoms returned. But still, I like the depth of our team all the way around. I do like the depth. But we got to be careful so that this game that's going on against the Bengals and the Steelers does not happen to the Colts against the Falcons tomorrow, right? Can't have that happen. And that's why I'm absolutely, Colts have to stay 100% focused. Steichen's got to have a game plan filled out with some good tight end throw. Look, the beautiful thing is we could run the football, utilize our tight ends in, intermediate passes, and use Downs and Alec Pierce as deep target opportunities to stretch the field so that Atlanta is not crushing our line at all times. Now, Downs is not, in my opinion, a guy that you want to throw on a 50-50 ball. You want him to beat somebody on a double move and get good separation before throwing him a deep shot. But he is such a damn good route runner that you could possibly do that. All right. But, I don't like the idea of Minshew throwing him those deep balls because Minshew can be a little erratic on the deep ball. Right. And that could end up getting picked off if you throw it towards Downs. Give it to Pierce, who's good at jumping, good at getting PIs, and has shown that he can come down with the football as of late in contested catches. I became a lot more impressed with Pierce over the past few weeks with that whole contested catch thing. But yeah, utilize tight ends, utilize the running game. Absolutely. Basil, I honestly believe that people ain't taking that hit enough. I think that was a terrible hit. He should have been suspended for the entire season and the playoffs. I played safety in the league, or not in the NFL, but in football in the 90s, and I was kicked out of a game for a very similar hit. So don't tell me that those hits used to be legal. They have never been legal since like the 70s, okay? You cannot hit anyone in the head and neck area, especially a defensive receiver. That is a bad hit. Even Zaire Franklin said in his podcast, and you know what kind of a player he is, that is a play that he felt like Kazi should have been suspended in. Now, Speed argued against it, but Zaire said that he should have. I am 100%. I don't think you take that serious enough, because that is a player's health. And once a receiver is defenseless, laid out defenseless like that, it is up to the defender to protect that receiver or that offensive player. It's in the rules. It is in the rules. As a defense, if there is a defenseless receiver, it is up to the defender to protect that player. And instead, he lowered his shoulder and went straight at the head and neck area, didn't even bring his hands up to cushion the blow or go after the ball or nothing like that. I feel like that is absolutely targeting, and I feel like that's something I will not abide by. Now, on the flip side, I almost said Rock Ya-Sin. Julius Brents was just fined $8,000 for lowering his helmet into the running back of the Steelers, a play that was not even flagged, and everybody's calling BS on it. No, he should have been fined for that. Very similar to the when, remember that play that the Indianapolis Colts ran that Quentin Nelson pulled, and the Colts added the screaming from a different play, and he lowered his helmet, and then he got fined for it because the NFL saw it, and they ended up fining him for it. You can't lower your helmet and hit with the crown of your helmet in the NFL, period, end of story. Okay? So absolutely, he should have been fined in that situation. I'm glad he wasn't suspended. He's just fined like a little over $8,000. Don't disrespect me, though, Basil. Seriously. I have my right to my opinion. And telling me my opinion is irrelevant is some BS. Don't respect me. Don't disrespect. I give you your opinion. Don't tell me mine's irrelevant. All right. I actually read the Colts have a huge long shot chance to get the number one. They do. It's like a 1% chance to get the 1 seed. All the planets would have to align. Anyway, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. What's up, Cypher? Thanks again so much. But yeah, I got you. And Merry Christmas to you too. I'm trying to remember the movie that comes from. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Oh, yeah, I remember now. A quote that became very famous in Home Alone off a previous movie. But say anything about a medical opinion anyhow. What does medical have anything to do with anything? I'm talking about whether or not a hit is dirty or not, or should be fined. That was a bad hit. Period. It wasn't bang bang though, AP. It wasn't that bang bang. The ball was in the air. Pittman dove. Then dude lowered his helmet and brought his arms in. After Pittman was diving, he had plenty of time to bring his arms up, keep his head up, and also change just even a little angle. Had he put his arms out and went for the football, I wouldn't have had a problem. If he'd have put his arms out to cushion the blow with the contact, wouldn't have had a problem with it. Had he changed his angle just a little bit so he wasn't hitting the head of the receiver, head neck area of the receiver, wouldn't have had a problem with it. But he had ample opportunity to change a little bit. That's why I think it was a dirty, and he absolutely should have been suspended. That's my opinion. And that's from a guy who's played that position, and I understand that people look, in this day and age, we're all about trying to protect the health of other players. Okay. And I am 100% for that. Does that change the game? Yes. The game from the 80s and 70s and 60s is gone. It's never coming back. We have to accept that. We have to accept what football is now and move on and follow the rules. All right. It's never going to come back. You have to abide by the rules as they are now. Okay. Because it's all about getting these guys who have lives, who have families, who have kids back to their lives, back to their family, back to their kids without, without long-term serious implications. And I absolutely have defended that my entire time I've ever talked about sports. Oh, he was fined earlier in the season 5 times for unsportsmanlike or for unnecessary roughness. 5 times unnecessary roughness. So, yeah. But anyhow, that would explain the jump in the line recent to the favor of the Falcons with the Pittman out. Decipher? Yeah, probably. Probably a little bit, with Pittman out. But still, I still feel like the Colts should be favored in this game. Right? Because the Colts are better across the board, roster-wise. Even with Pittman out, I feel like the Colts are better all the way across the board, roster-wise. Why would you do that? I get it, you're in Atlanta. But I feel like the Colts should be at least 5-point favorites. And then you take the Atlanta, being in Atlanta, so you give them 3 points. So that should give the Colts that should make the Colts 2-point favorites, right? That's how I would do it. Put it down, Colts +2 or Colts -2, right? That's how I would look at it. But again, I'm not a number cruncher. I'm not a Vegas number cruncher. And I understand that they've got their reasons for it. I don't gamble. I've never bet on a game in my entire life because I have a gambling habit that has been a problem, right, in my past with like scratch-offs and lottery and stuff like that. So I don't bet on games because I know that once I go down that rabbit hole, I would ruin my whole family's career. My whole family's life would be ruined if I even bet on sports once. So I don't do it. Even though I am legitimately have a top-end betting site that sponsors my channel over on Believe, I still don't gamble on sports games because I know what it'll do to me. But that's fine. They're allowed their opinions. I'm allowed mine. Gus Bradley has to make sure they get after the quarterback. 100%, Richie. 100%. 100%, they got to get after the quarterback. Yeah, I know, Carl. We've already discussed it at length. So that sucks. But I don't think it affects the game that much. I think the Colts still win. I think they still win by multiple scores. I don't know if you guys have watched my preview, but yeah. Donald and I both gave our game predictions in the preview show. So if you guys haven't watched it, go check it out. Yeah, he was back. He's put back on concussion protocol, as Basil is saying. But I think that's going to do me here. 45 minutes on unscheduled stream last minute, pretty much. I was just thinking I wanted to talk about this. It was brought up a little bit yesterday, yesterday when Donald and I was discussing the game about this possibly being a trap game, and I was like, well, let's go ahead and do a live stream and have a nice little discussion about it. And then me and Basil had to have a little back and forth argument. Which, look, Basil, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your opinions, but you sure as hell know how to trigger me sometimes. But it's all good, man. Appreciate each and every one of you. You guys have a good one. All right. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow during tomorrow's live game reactions. Have a good one.